Alright guys, it may not look like it, but it is a beautiful day here today. After this snowstorm that we had, we got almost a foot of snow, and today, the day after, it is like 50 degrees and it feels warm. And the snow is melted down to about 5 inches already, and it's only dinner time, so it feels real nice today. Anyway, I have a topic for a video today I want to get into. Alright, so today I'm going to show you how to get a car stuck in the snow. I can't get my loader out of the shed here because I have my Volkswagen car sitting here. So it just occurred to me, I've never had this car out in the snow or deep snow. And it is four-wheel drive all the time. And the previous guy that had it told me that it would go anywhere in the snow. So let's let's have a little fun here and see if we can't get a car stuck in the snow here. I didn't think ahead. Last night, I didn't think ahead last night when I was when the storm blew in, because I figured it was just media hype and it was a joke that it was going to snow. Well, a foot of snow, and because this is in the shade here. All right, so we're gonna try to get out of here in reverse. So let's just have a little fun. If I get stuck, it's not going to be a huge deal, but let's just let's punch it, I guess. Oh man, that was awesome. Yeah, this car will go pretty good in the snow. Probably have to blow the snow out of the exhaust pipes. All right, I'll let this warm up. I got a place I gotta go to today. Yeah, I cleaned out the underside of the car too, so that's good. We got all that grease off the bottom of the car. Now I can get my tractor out. Well, you can't beat a four-wheel drive. All right, guys, we'll get into this video. All right, guys, welcome back. I just want to cover some of the things, some upcoming projects. I like to set the stage for what I'm going to be up to, some of the things that I'm looking to do here in the next couple weeks before we start getting on in the spring, just to keep you guys following along with me as we're making repairs here. So with this Farmall 560, I've been trying to get it restored since I bought it last year, and it's been I'd say it's been a slow process. I did get it pretty well field ready now, but I'm still trying to continually work at it when I have time. Because by the time summer rolls around, basically it's going to be what happened last year. My summers are just making hay. And then when I have a window of time when I don't need to be making hay, I need to be spraying and doing other stuff. So it's tough to do this stuff in the summertime. I try my best, and we'll probably keep working at this as we get time. But basically, I just wanted to bring you guys up to speed of what's going to be done to this 560 yet this year. You know about the glow plugs. We have to do some rewiring. I did that in a past video. I have another parts order in. Like I say, I'm putting this canister back on as soon as I can paint it, as soon as we have some warm weather. So, what did I order? What do we need yet? I did order this piece of the hood. The guy who I bought this tractor from, everybody asked me in my videos, where's the piece of the hood? I know it's missing. I know it doesn't look finished. I know it looks like I have the thing open here all the time, but the guy I brought it from thought he had the piece of the hood, and I gave him about a year now. I don't think he has it, or he didn't find it yet. I was holding out faith that he did have it because he did drop off this piece. This piece was missing, and he did find this. So I figure after a year, I did order the piece of the hood here. It's a used piece from a salvage company. It's well, I'll say it. I got it from All States Ag Parts. It was $75 for this missing piece, but and you know, $75, it might sound like a lot, but for this whole piece here that goes from there to there, I told him I was restoring the tractor. If he could find me one that's half decent, that's not all bent up. I didn't see it yet, so I don't know what I'm getting, but I'm glad to have ordered that. I want to get that piece and get this tractor closed up and finished. So that's coming. Basically, the other issue I have is the gauges, and you'll notice those of you that have a good eye and that restore tractors and can see all the places that I didn't paint very well, I didn't paint the dash on purpose. The dash I left right the way it was, just because I knew I was going to be replacing some of these gauges. I wanted to get some time behind the wheel and see what works and what doesn't. Basically, what works on this tractor is the oil pressure gauge, which is a good thing to have, but the gauge is so rusty and the face of it is so faded from sitting out in the sun, it's hard to read. So I did order a oil pressure gauge for this tractor. So we're gonna get that installed. The tack works. I wanna leave that original because it has the original hours on it. All I had to do was put a tack cable in, so we've got that. The horn it did work, now it's not working. I have to see why the horn doesn't work. Not that it's a big deal, but we wanna try to restore it. The stop button's fine, the fuse holder's fine. The temperature gauge doesn't work, so I did order a temperature gauge for this tractor to get the to see what the temperature is. That's an important gauge to have working. The fuel gauge doesn't work. I was able to order a gauge and a sending unit as an assembly, so instead of taking all the time to diagnose which works and which doesn't, I doubt the sending unit's any good, and the gauge is so faded you can hardly read it. The charging gauge doesn't work. Again, same deal. It's a faded gauge, doesn't work. It's probably corroded, so we have a gauge. Basically, I ordered all the gauges except for the tack. You guys saw me replace the glow plug meter. So I'm gonna take this dash right off of this tractor. It's gonna come right off, and we're gonna take everything out of the dash. It's gonna be very time consuming, but in the end, it's gonna be worth it, I think. We're gonna paint this dash finally once the gauges are out of it, and we're going to get the right decal. I have the decals set. I just have to get the dash painted, get the decals on. You'll notice here under the steering column there's a plastic lens here. There is a light under there. There are bulbs in there that light up your dash at night, and it does work, but this lens is cracked and corroded. You can't, it's like fogged over, and I was able to find that lens online. So basically we're going to redo this whole dash. It's going to be so time consuming. I'm not looking forward to it, I'll put it that way, but in the end result, it's going to be pretty nice. And especially if I'd ever decide to sell the tractor, how many times can you find a tractor that all the gauges work? It's hard to find that in a used piece of equipment, and it's one of the selling points, so it's a value added thing in my mind. So there's that. Let's see what else. All right, and I know I got some criticism for not having the correct seat on the tractor. I understand. I know. Seats are pretty expensive. Like I said, the original seat for this is about $260, and I can tell you this year we're not going to be putting the seat on just yet. The seat that I put on is in good shape. We're going to use it this year, maybe next year. It's all going to depend on what I want to keep spending at the tractor. But it is a possibility that we're going to get the right seat. I'm still looking for some fenders, and again, that's something for down the road. It's not going to happen right away unless I find a good set that's half decent shape that I can get painted and get on the tractor. So as far as the fenders go, yeah, I'd love to have fenders on here, but again, to try to go to a aftermarket or a salvage yard, you're going to pay pretty much, because fenders are always in high demand, especially if they're in nice shape, and they know it, and you're charged for them. So I'm looking for that one guy that's cleaning out his barn, and he has a set of fenders for a 560, and doesn't really have a tractor to put them on, and is just looking to clean them out. And they're in half decent shape. That's the kind of deal I'm looking for right now, and that would probably be the only circumstance that I would buy fenders, if something came up like on Craigslist or something like that. But after the dash is done, once the dash is all finished and complete, and I have the hood on and all the gauges work, oh yeah, I am replacing. And this, when you put a temperature sending unit in for the temperature, the heat gauge, you'll have to drain some of your antifreeze out, because there's a probe that goes in your engine, so you have to drain your antifreeze. I was looking the other day, these radiator hoses on this tractor are in terrible shape. They're pretty well dry rotted, and when I painted the tractor, I painted over them. So I did get the upper and the lower radiator hose. Now there's a little radiator hose in there. It's a short piece that's leaking on this, that it's that corroded from the oil that was constantly running down this engine. I couldn't find that short piece. I'm gonna see if I can't match something up and get the well, the antifreeze is out of it. We want to change those hoses and then the temperature gauge. So we got a ways to go here yet until I'm till I'm satisfied with this. It's always a work in progress. I just didn't have the time to really take my time in each piece and step by step. It just didn't happen. I was trying to paint this while I was making hay. Basically, I'd go out, ted hay, come back, paint a little bit, get things hooked around to go make some more hay. So it was really crunch time over the summer, and that's how this next summer's probably gonna go. So just to bring you guys up to speed on where I am with it and what's gonna be coming here. I'll try to do some videos if you guys are interested, and I'm hoping it's warmer when I do this kind of stuff, because once I have some of the sheet metal off and I have some things disassembled, I'm gonna find places where I didn't get painted. Exhibit A, my oil filter housing. Now, because I had that on and off so many times, it's in a different spot, and you can see where I didn't paint it. So I left it that way so I was sure it got paint. So I guess that's where we'll end today's video. I do have a parts order in, and it's probably going to be the last one for a while here. So if anybody is looking for any type of how-tos, we'll get into getting this thing finished, hopefully. Finally get it finished. Like I say, it's not a parade tractor, and that wasn't my goal. If I was going to be taking it to shows or stuff like that, I would have taken all the sheet metal off, sent it all the way to get sandblasted, professionally done. But that wasn't the case here, and I wasn't aiming for that. That wasn't my goal. That wasn't the end goal. It wasn't going to be going to parades. I just wanted a tractor that looked half decent here on the farm. So, all right, guys, I'll end it there. Thank you guys for watching. And if you're new to the channel, I really appreciate you guys for subscribing. And I'm hoping to keep making some interesting videos.